Ever heard of the term called making death beautiful? Neither have I. But the person with whom we are going to talk today, he not only does he believes in making death beautiful, but also he is implementing with his own startup called the Lastripple. To know more about his green entrepreneurial journey, stay tuned in this podcast. This is Pranjal Parmar with our guest Pramodh Chandrashekar from Lastripple. Stay tuned.
So, hello everyone, and welcome to Kahani Ansuni. We have a very special guest today with us, and he is Pramodh Chandrashekar, the man himself, the founder of Last Ripple and two-time TEDx speaker. Being a law student, he is in the field of entrepreneur. So, let's go to Pramodh only and ask him that, give a quick intro, a brief intro about himself.
Hi. Thank you for this opportunity, Pranjal. Thanks for connecting on Instagram. So, to talk about my introduction or my brief or my bio, I would just say I'm still a lost law student stuck in my law school to complete my law degree. But apart from being a law student, I happened to start last triple 3 years back or when I was 19. So, it's been a beautiful, positive, bumpy journey of my entrepreneurship to make last triple this beautiful. So to brief about me, I am a lost law student to make last triple happen, and last triple was my emotion. So in this podcast or in this video or in this interview with Pranjal, I am going to talk about my journey to create last triple and what was last triple's emotion and what made last triple this beautiful to all of you all. Let's do this.
Yes, perfect. Let's do this. So yeah, you gave your introduction. It was beautiful. Like being a law student, even you did start up. That's
Right.
wonderful because generally law student, uh, law student is the person who is familiar with startups but does not do startups much. They
Right.
help startups basically, right?
Right.
So that's wonderful that you did it. So I would just like to ask that your startup is related to nature. So what specifically, drew your attention towards the nature?
So honestly speaking, Pranjal, I always was a nature lover, right?
Yeah.
So way back in my schools, I used to go out with my friends, play cricket in an open ground, and go to beautiful green parks, and that's where my nature love started. And that built it up because being in a city like Bangalore, termed as a garden city way back in 2000s, it was a beautiful experience for me, at least to be there in the vibrant green lands of Bangalore. But then what made me to connect nature to my entrepreneurship journey was something fascinating, right? So what made me to connect nature and last triple was this one thought called forgetting what and where we came from, right? Because
Yes.
in a childhood we have different perspectives, right? We want to go hang out, play, chill, connect, and help. Once we evolve ourselves into teens and then adults, and then a responsible family man or something of that sort, we get to lose our traction towards what we loved in the childhood, right? And one such thing is nature. Like
Yeah.
everybody who's listening to this, or everybody who would listen to this in the coming years to cherish, would definitely have some experience with nature, or some experience with the outside world, which is not a privatized entity, right? So that is where I
Yeah.
wanted to make last triple happen, because last triple's agenda was to make that beautiful. So to give a brief about last triple to all of you, last triple is Asia's first green initiative or green foundation, which initiates or which makes people feel death is beautiful, which eliminates the taboo about death to make death beautiful. And how we do it is very simple. We initiated to plant a tree for every death. Planting a tree for every death from the cremated remains of your beloved with our patent pending planting systems earns, to make sure that you plant a beautiful green memory for your beloved in a green form of life. So your love for your loved one would be carried forward on this mortal world in a living form of a tree. So I having the ideology behind Last Triple was just to connect our emotions to nature, right? So the whole
Oh,
agenda of connecting nature to Last Triple was I wanted to make Last Triple into a logistical forum like a Ola or a Uber for pet logistics, right? That was the initial
yeah.
plan of Last Triple way back in September 2018 before Last Triple was launched, right? So I was thinking,
Okay.
what if I make a logistical forum for pet families and human families to come and make Lastripple a one-stop solution for funerals was what I thought way back in 2018, September or October, before December when Lastripple was launched, right? So it
Yes.
was a ideation phase, and randomly I came across this article in Facebook way back in uh, June, July 2018, which went like this:
Yeah.
planting a tree for every death, right? So in the European states, they had this initiative way back in 2015, 2014, but they couldn't do this for two reasons, right? Because they had a strong burial law, and secondly, they had no people to die. So they had very less
Yeah.
population today, and they had no laws supporting them to do, right? And being a law student, I researched about the laws in the funeral industry, right? And to my
Mhm.
fascination, there was no law at all. There is
Oh,
no law at all. There's no existence of regulation, right? Which was way too scary for me, because there's no law, there is no industry, there is no a foundational organization doing for death. So it was scary. But then I thought, what if I connect Last Triple helping pet families, human families in terms of death, to make that death beautiful, connecting nature and death. And that's how
yeah.
Last Triple was born, and that is how we have been functioning in the past 2.5, 3 years. It's been 27, 28 months from December 2018 to what it is today. And
Mhm.
I'm loving the whole journey, Pranjal. I'm loving it. That's it.
Array. Yes, that's the point. Like you should love what you do. That's
Right,
that's the ultimate goal of your life and to be happy in your life, right? So
right,
coming on to your last triple journey, like I would just like to ask that what is the connection of entrepreneurship and nature? Like you made
right,
last triple with both's connection, right?
right,
So can I know what last triple actually does, like how it performs,
right.
how it works? So yeah, can you please elaborate on it?
Uh, I wanted to bring entrepreneurship because definitely having a social venture would not make your organization grow. Because
Yeah.
I honestly know for a fact that being in the legal sector, being in the student sector, we all get so many opportunities, right? Donation drive, funding drive, crowdfunding campaigns, but not everybody is supporting because everybody have their own problems, right? I at
Yes.
19 was having my own problems. Right now I'm gonna be 22 this August. So at 22 I'm gonna have a different set of problems, right? So life at 20s is definitely not easy, right? And same goes to
Yes.
life at 30s and life at 40s. Everybody, you might have a very wealthy family, but they have their own problems, right? So
Yes.
I didn't want an external source to support Last Triple foundationally, right? So I wanted to
Mm.
make Last Triple a viable business model so that we have our own recurring or our own financial aids coming from our activities. Be at the end of the day, being a foundation, being a initiative for public, we do get donations and donors pumping in their finances whenever they are having surplus. But then I didn't want Last People to be a money wanting organization or a crowd
Yes.
funding organization, because the agenda of entrepreneurship is solving a problem and getting paid for it, right?
Yeah.
The agenda of an NGO is solving a problem who's not able to pay for you, who's not able to afford your services. To give an example, Swiggy is an entrepreneurial venture wherein you order food and you get paid for it, right? But
Yes.
an orphanage again wants food, but they can't afford to pay for it. So this is a
Yes.
clear extension of the problem of food scarcity and the problem of accountability wherein money comes in, and the problem of social responsibility where money doesn't come in, right? So I wanted to have this
Yes.
balance. So bringing entrepreneurship into Last Triple was just because to make Last Triple a viable business model wherein we have our own resources to make Last Triple happen. And connecting entrepreneurship was way too fascinating for me because talking about death and selling death was not easy. Right? In this
Yeah.
world where everybody sells something for the living, we sold something for the dead, right?
Yes.
Selling something for the dead was definitely not easy, Pranjal, and it
Yes.
took me months of practice to talk to people in the difficult times, be it in the hospitals, or be it in the mortuary, or be it in the crematorium, or be it in the grounds where they bury the pet bodies, right? Because we didn't want
Mhm.
to focus on humans. We
Yeah.
just focus on pets because pets itself is a huge problem in Bangalore, because Bangalore, Delhi, and Mumbai are three biggest pet hubs of India as of now, right? So
Yes.
talking about pet parents, talking about death to pet parents, about their pets in the difficult times was definitely not easy. And that's where we bought entrepreneurship and glamorizing what we did. And right now, we are a successful, viable business model, and we have a balance between our social responsibility and our viability of the business, so that we are a successful, stable organization. But however, when we see at a bigger perspective, we do want funds, we do want donors, we do want volunteers who can be our support. And it's a long journey. I'm still 21, stuck in my law school, so I'm just keeping it circled around me. But it's my promise to all of you who's listening to this podcast that my law school will be done in a year's time, and after that last step is gonna be at least 10x of what it is today.
Arre wow. That's great. That's great. So, Pramod, I would like to ask that, okay, this making death beautiful, this is completely different and out of the box topic. Like, I have never heard like making death beautiful. That when I heard about it, I was so fascinated by this term, like making death beautiful.
Right.
It's beautiful, right? So, I would just like to ask कि एक बार जो पैट है वो उनकी डेथ हो गई, ठीक है? तो
हाँ
उसके
जी,
बाद what is the role of last triple? What does it do?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी. So to give a brief illustration about how we function as an organizational aid for funerals in Bangalore at least. So as of now in
Mhm.
Delhi and Mumbai, we only focus on plantations. So how we focus on Delhi and
Yes.
Mumbai or any city, Bangalore is the only city where we are operating 24/7 with all supports that we give to the families. So apart from Bangalore, how we do is we have a kit or a planting system. So our patent
Mhm.
pending planting system is a do-it-yourself kit. So you can order it on our website or on Instagram or Facebook of Lastripple. Once you order it, within 24 hours, the sales team will get in touch with you and we will dispatch the kit. So after seeing our testimonies, videos, and tutorials, you can do a plantation for human families and pet families. So 80% of our customers or clients, apart from Bangalore, are from Delhi and Mumbai. We're in a lot of pet families, human families, to the last triple plantations to make something happen. And apart from that, we give mental assistance if they want. We do have counselors. We do have beautiful coaches who give emotional and mental assistance for free of cost for the families at difficult times if they need some counseling. And talking about
Yes.
things in Bangalore, how we function is, let's take an hypothetical example. There's a pet parent called X in Bangalore A, and
Mhm.
he calls to last triple sales team or call free number, and he calls to the number, and within 90 minutes we address a query, and
Mhm.
we send our fleet of volunteers to their doorstep after taking their Google location. After we go to the place in 90 minutes, we wrap the pet body in a white cloth and we flood the pet body. Post that, we ask the family either you want a burial or a cremation. If it's happening in a burial ground, then we bury the pet and we do puja or a ritual in the burials. If it is
Mhm.
cremation, then we cremate the pet body and get the ashes, and on top of the ashes, we plant a tree. So that's the whole process. And pet parents who do burials also do plantations wherein they take a hair of the pet body or wherein they take a pet body's wherein they take a pet smell, let's say like a pet toy or a pet T-shirt. So they put that in under the tree. So either which ways we can do the plantation. So how we function is, let's say, if we get a call from pet family, we go pick the pet body, we dress the pet body, we transport the pet body to burials or cremation. And Bangalore, Delhi, and Mumbai are the three big metro cities having a dedicated animal crematorium. So they have a dedicated animal crematorium or a facility for cremation only for animals, right? So we have a collaboration with local municipalities in all these three cities, wherein we go to
Mhm.
the grounds and we cremate the needful, and then we do the whole back end work in the crematorium premises, like filling the ledger book records and the government fees and whatever it is. And post that, we collect the ashes and we do like a cycle, like pick your pet body at your doorstep and again get you the ashes, like a cycle, right? That's what we do as an
Yeah.
organization. And plantations can definitely happen whenever the family is wanting, because they really want to accompany us and water the tree and see the tree growing, right? And that's what we do. And talking about plantations, in Delhi and Mumbai, we don't have a collaboration with local municipality. In Bangalore, we do have amazing collaboration with apartments, townships, and parks in Bangalore. So whenever a pet parent is wanting a pot plantation, then they take a pot and they put the planting system like a cylinder inside the pot, and then they do a plantation. But if they want a tree
Yes.
plantation, we do have townships and apartments and collaborations in Karnataka, so that we plant a tree and give lifetime maintenance for that tree. So that's how we do the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a win-win situation for both. Like,
Right.
जिनका भी जो पेट पेरेंट है वो जब प्लांट करेंगे तो एक तो वो नेचर को भी इट्स ग्रोइंग नेचर, दे आर
Right.
ग्रोइंग नेचर एंड आल्सो दे वुड फील कनेक्टेड टुवर्ड्स इट, लाइक नो
Right.
डाउट उनका पेट मर चुका है फिर भी वो जीवित है इस प्लांट के जरिए. So
Right.
yeah, and by that model, like it's amazing, amazing.
Right.
Okay, so just a quick question, like ये लास्ट ट्रिपल नाम कहाँ से आया?
This question is asked me all the Instagram live or every interview possible. So, talking about the idea being about death, I wanted to make the organizational name or the ideating name something related to positifying death, right? And I think the first name that I thought was Death Cafe, which was so lame again. And it was like vintage package. Again, it was kind of lame. Then I thought of connecting nature and the whole idea about beautifying death, right? And then I Google a lot of things on Google. Like that's what we do because I was just 19
Yes.
when I launched Last Triple in December 2018. And I found pictures of mountains, garden, park, trees, and whatnot, right? And then I suddenly saw a 3D image on Google wherein you had a mountain and water flowing from the mountain and falling on the ground, which is creating
Hmm.
water ripples, right? That was
Yes.
kind
Yes.
of positive. Then I thought, what if I keep Ripple in the brand name?
Me.
Then I went on searching antonyms and synonyms for death. And last is a suitable name for death. So I thought, what
Yes.
if we can keep it as last ripple, combining last and ripple, that is death and nature, wherein you create a rippling effect of positivity from last ripple, and that's how the brand name came. And the whole audience loved it, and that's how we launched last
Yeah.
ripple.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's amazing. Like, the name also, it's good to
But to
hear.
my
Like,
fascination, Pranjal, there was a cryptocurrency called Ripple, very famous
yes.
cryptocurrency called Ripple or
Yes.
XRP, which was launched way back when we were successful in Last Ripple. The moment you type Last Ripple on Google, last share price of Ripple is to come in the Google. Like Ripple cryptocurrency is at $0.01, something of that sort, right?
Yes.
That was the only challenge until Last Ripple was young. But after Last Ripple got success, after Last Ripple got that recognition from media, and we have gotten that support from public, we get that Google's screen space, and we do have a presence on all the platforms right now. Yeah.
Acha, great, great. Yeah. So, next question I would like to ask is like, entrepreneurship journey is, it's like ups and downs and a roller coaster ride. So, even you had faced some, like, you might have faced some issues or problems when you started. So, I would just like to ask that what were that difficulties that you faced while you started?
I mean, difficulties are many because every day has been a painful story, even right now
Yeah.
for me, because it's been 27, 28 months. We're going to have a 30th anniversary this December. But still,
Mhm.
even though you have a 3-year-old organization, still it is painful because of so many things, right? Because firstly, I was a law student. And trust me,
Yes.
Pranjal, what I am today is completely because of last triple. I couldn't
Mhm.
articulate properly at 19. I couldn't talk about last triple to people because I couldn't express myself, right?
Yes.
Talking about death and talking about making that beautiful at 19 was not a joke. Because being from
Yeah.
a typical Indian family, we all have that family pressure and societal pressure, right? Like, what if
Yes.
I get roasted? Like, what if this fails? What if this doesn't work? So I had so much negativity, trust me. And it was definitely a very, very horrifying journey because I didn't have a co-founding team. I didn't have a co-founder. I was a one-man
Yes.
army. The founder, the CEO, the cleaner, the gardener, the everything, right?
Yeah.
And it did sound fancy being the glam doll of last triple or being the one man army in last triple, but however the journey is painful, right? Because from day one to
Yes.
what it is today, it's been a painful journey. So the first thing which I faced as an entrepreneur at 2018 when I launched last triple was how to start, where to
Mhm.
start, and what
Yeah.
to start, how to make the first customer or first testimony come, right?
Yeah.
So everything was a learning experience for me, Pranjal. I don't want to go to the deep legalities of it, but then the only thing I lost is I didn't know how to travel. I didn't know how to initiate and give a roadmap because I didn't have a mentoring team which was lasting for a long time. Because
Mhm.
everybody, I mean, there were very few people who didn't take advantage of my innocence, right? Everybody wanted, like, I want equity in last triple, I want to share in last triple, I want that, I want this. Can you do this in return for me? This whole world of entrepreneurship is give and take policy, right? There are very few
Yes.
people who just give and just give. They don't expect something in return, which is not that common that you see in this current world, right? So
Mhm.
it is definitely not a great scene. So the first thing which I faced was difficulty to have a roadmap and structure myself. Second thing is not having people and manpower which is still a problem for me. third
Yes.
thing third thing and the most important thing is we dealing with something called a niche called death, because our
Yes.
niche or our service was so new that nobody could even imagine about last triple. Getting first 50 testimonies was so painful that I couldn't tell you. Trust me, Pranchal, I was literally sitting in the crematorium with
Mhm.
dead bodies of animals and pet parents crying and stray dogs crying, strays coming in for literally for 45 days to get my first 50 customers. It was definitely not a great scene, but then I made it, and that made Last Triple this strong as an organization. And fourth and most important thing is not knowing where to stop and not knowing where to start again in the process. Because once you start your journey, you get a lot of attention, you get a
Yes.
lot of support, you get a lot of everything, right? In my case, I went through so much pain, but I got so much fame in return, right?
Yeah.
Every single
Yes.
day we used to get a media coverage. Till date, in this
Yes.
3 years of Last Triple's journey, we had over 60 coverages globally, right? Two
My
time
God.
TEDx at 19, Singapore Foundation at 19, newspaper articles at my 18th birthday to 19th birthday. So everything pumped up, right? Be it
Yes.
Karnataka newspapers, be it Indian newspapers, be it international organizations, everybody covered Last Triple, right? And
Mhm.
there was a point when fame went so high that I couldn't manage my grounded nature to Last Triple, and it felt so lost that I was always wanting more and more of media and fame and less of real
Yeah.
work, right? The work was very
Yes.
little, but the media was so high, right?
Yeah.
So I lost
Indeed.
myself, and then right now, if I may put it this way, I am literally the best version of myself, if you ask me, Pranjal. So yeah, I think lack of roadmap, lack of people, and being pioneers in a niche called death. And fourth thing is losing on your roadmap and your focus. This is the four biggest things that we faced. And I don't want to talk about money because money is always a problem in every venture. That's definitely
Yes.
there. In our case, we were happy to have a viable business model, so money was not a problem. But apart from that, I think every single day is a hustle for me, because being in college, it's definitely not easy,
Yeah.
Pranjal. And today is my only break. Tomorrow I have another exam happening. So having last triple exams and law school and whatnot, right? So it's definitely a horrible journey, but I'm loving it. I'm
Yeah.
loving it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Like, I would just like to ask, like, yes, being a 19 or 20-year-old, you are also managing your startup, your media coverages, your fame, and also your studies, because studies is the, foundational part. You need to do it. So, how can you share just in brief that how you manage all these things? Like,
Uh, see, honestly, Pranjal, I still am figuring out my way. Every day,
Mhm.
every single day is a priority for me, because every day something happened just like this, right? So there were
Yes.
times when I let go of my relationships, my friends, my family, my sleep for last triple. So if you honestly
Yes.
ask me, last triple is utmost priority in my life right now. Like
Hmm.
last triple tops the list, and then comes everything in my life, because last triple gave me everything. Today, if
Yeah.
I'm this proud about my existence in this world. Today, if I'm this happy with my people, it's only because of last triple. I've let go of relationships, friends, family, law school, and everything for last triple. So if you ask me what's a priority right now, it will be last triple, because last triple gave me everything in my life, right? And I think every student entrepreneur or every student is wanting to do something apart from his or her college routine should have a list of priorities in her head or in his head, right? Because without the clarity in yourself, you can't excel, right? There were times when I literally skipped my mid semesters, literally missed my end semesters for last triple, right? On my last year birthday, I had a death commitment. I missed my birthday to go help a pet family in Bangalore lifting their pet body because their pet passed away around noon. The whole day we were traveling. There were times where I literally missed my family gatherings because of last triple. So it is painful, but then it is beautiful, isn't it? And talking about priorities, Pranjal, last triple or my vision to make last triple big is always the priority. Then comes my law school. My grades plummeted. My friends circle reduced. My family hated me, and everything fell apart. In fact, my personal finance also went for dogs, because It's definitely not easy, right, to manage social
Yeah,
initiatives,
it's
because
not
sometimes you
easy.
have to put money from your own pocket to make your business happen. So it is painful,
Yeah.
but then last triple, or my my vision to make last triple big was my first clarified thought that that is my priority. And talking about my fame and media, again, that's because of last triple. So that's again a part of last triple. So every podcast or every video or every coverage I give for last triple is because of last triple. So that again comes
Yes.
under last triple. So that's one for me. And
Yeah.
talking about law school, I never cared about my grades. My
Mhm.
aim is to do the best. Like I have never flunked in any subject in my 4 years of law school, and I'm
Mhm.
happy for it. So every time I at least get 50 to 65, some in that
Percent.
first class range, so I comfortably pass. I'm happy for. And talking about something apart from law school and last triple, it's a big sacrifice. My friends hate me. My
Yes.
mom and dad literally sometimes shouted at me for not being at home even on weekends. So it's definitely a weird story, but you have to just go for it, Pranjal, because it's
Yes.
not a beautiful start, and it's a lonely journey, right? It's a very very lonely,
Yes.
straightforward journey. So, but yes, I am just breathing and enjoying the process.
और कहता है ना कि स्टार्टअप्स इतने इजीली नहीं हो जाते, आपको
Huh,
सारा कुछ सैक्रिफाइस करना
correct.
पड़ता है आपके उस एक विजन के लिए. So yeah,
Absolutely.
and you did it, and today you are getting so much, from last triple. So yeah, that's good. That's good.
In
So
fact, last triple gave me everything. Like last triple gave me that people who made me what I'm, because I met you to I met you because of last triple, right? So every time I
yes,
meet beautiful people because of last triple, it is making me feel way too blessed because of last triple.
100%. I agree. I agree. So this is the month of June, and 5th June, the world celebrate it as the Environment Day. So how was this June 2021 especially very perfect time for last triple?
So if I may put it this way, Pranjal, last year, March 2020, March, that is 14 months back, I didn't
Mhm.
have that faith in last triple, right? Because
Yeah,
I lost it all. COVID started, we had no sales, law school was
yeah.
not happening. It was such a demoralizing mental state. I'm not able to share what I was going through back then, right? And
Hmm.
then we decided that let's not be scared. Let's not be selfish. Let's go on and help the families. March
Yeah.
30th से लेकर to till date, we haven't put a break for last triple. Whenever a family reached out to last triple, we have helped them, right? So what we did
Yes.
from last year, March 30th to June last week to this day, that made last triple this big. We literally grew 4 times of what we were before last year, March 2020. And what happened from last year to this year was something a beautiful journey might be, because last year we were just a student project without no seriousness. Right now, I might
Yes.
say Last Triple is an organization with serious work happening, because without Last Triple, so many families would not do justice. So many
Yeah.
families depend on Last Triple. We have 100 trees to take care in Kaman Park and Bangalore regions, right? We have so much happening in Karnataka. So we are a very, very busy organization. And especially in this World Environment Day, this being the June Green Week of this year, we did a lot of collaborations, a lot of outreach campaigns, and we launched our very first Pan Day campaign called hashtag Last Triple Challenge 2.2, which was a successful event again. So I think June 2021 was that 1 month of reliving the journeys that happened from last year to what it is today. And this month is just filled with memories and beautiful stories to share to all of you.
Wow, wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. So coming on to, the very serious issue, like recently we had COVID, like it is still going on, but we faced a severe difficulties for oxygen, right? So, and I would just like to ask that due to this oxygen also very many, fatalities happened. So I
Right.
would just like to ask that who should be responsible for it, and what should we do to improve this thing?
I would be very, very simple and very blunt on all of you. We are
Yes,
responsible for it. You, I,
100%.
my family, your family, all of us are responsible for it. And to make this beautiful, we have to step up and do this. It's absolutely simple. every step counts, and every volunteer counts, and everybody who's doing something for the nature counts. So it's our responsibility to step up, not the government, not Narendra Modi ji, not the Prime Minister, not the not the Supreme Court, not even anybody. It's you
Yeah.
who are responsible for what it is today. So we have to step up. That's it.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So, how can we step up? Like, what are the ways that we could show our love towards nature?
See, not everybody can start an organization, right? Not everybody can be a founder of a
Yeah,
green organization, right? So the first thing that all of us ask is volunteers, support. Even if you can like
yeah,
our post on Instagram and tag our organization, put a story that will give us reach. Even if you can
100%.
save, even if you can click on that save button on Instagram and watch it again, that will give us reach.
Yeah,
That simple move can make some change to an organization. It might be as simple as you using a bamboo toothbrush. It might be
yeah.
as simple as you using a public transport. It might be
Mhm.
as simple as you watering a tree in a public park or a highway or a road, right? Every step matters, right? It might be as simple as you transitioning your food style, because our food consumes a lot of water and a lot of energies, right? Every food
100%.
matters and every step matters and everything matters. I think if we are judiciously using our resources to make something happen, and that's
Yes.
all about it, Pranjal. It's all about change within from us to the world, to make this oxygen, to make this environment, and to make our world a beautiful green place for all of us.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, next I would like to ask is this is very personal. This question is very personal. So, even I aspire to become a TEDx speaker, like even I want to, give a speech
Okay.
on TEDx platform. So I would just like to ask that how was your experience to speak on that TEDx stage?
It's a
That,
funny story because I can't say I'm lucky. I would just say that I was having the right timings to make things happen in my life, right? Because Last Triple
yeah,
was launched on December 2018, and I was a TEDx speaker on March 2019, in just 3 months, like three and a half months, right? And all of this
yeah,
happened because I was prepared for it, right? So in the first
yeah,
3 months of Last Triple, we had amazing media, amazing organizations covering Last Triple. I still remember I won a B school competition in my university in 2018 again, and I got a standing ovation from the whole university because I was only a law student winning a competition in an MBA school.
hmm,
I, being a law student, won a competition in the B school of our university, and the whole law school was applauding the effort. And one of my friend happened to tell me that, bro, why can't you become a TEDx speaker? I'm like, अरे यार क्या बात कर रही हो? And she's like, just apply, you will get it. And I'm like, I'm too young for this. But she's like, anyways, whatever. And in my case, that whenever I want to start something, I'm way too adamant. If I want to start something, I'll bloody start it because that is me, right? I just
yeah,
went to TEDx website and googled about TEDx events happening in the month of Jan, Feb, March, April in South India, and I applied to a TEDx event in Chennai. And how I applied is very funny. Okay, I went to the TEDx page. They have their organizers LinkedIn and Facebook. I went to the
mhm,
Facebook DM on Messenger, messaged him saying, "Hey, listen, I'm Pramodh, founder of Last Triple. We do amazing memories for death." And I gave a brief intro. And I said, "I want to become a TEDx speaker on your stage. If you're wanting speakers, let me know." Next day,
yeah.
I get a call saying you're confirmed as TEDx speaker.
Wow, that's amazing. That's
And
amazing.
second TEDx event again happened on July 2019, which was just 3 months after the first TEDx event. And again, it
Mhm.
happened on a very brief front, saying, "Sir, we want you because we saw a video and it's a beautiful journey." And I was also wanting to give a TEDx stage in Bangalore, right? And after the
Yeah,
after the first TEDx stage, I got multiple organizations like one, three, four, five, six. I've said no to everybody because I didn't want to make Last People more famous. Matlab, I wanted to keep it very low key because I didn't want to take a space given to some other creator or some other entrepreneur, right? Because I thought
yeah,
already I've gotten a lot. So I thought I don't want anything more. I am satisfied. In fact,
yes,
even last month I got a offer for a TEDx speaker another stage. I said, boss, listen, until 2021 December, I'm not taking any TEDx stages. I made very clear for all of them, so that I didn't want to take an opportunity given to another budding entrepreneur or another budding creator. So the only advice for you is, Pranjal, that it is simple. Just keep your work elegant and consistent, and you never know. you might be a TEDx speaker before 2021. You never know, right? It's just a process. And trust
Yeah.
me, after this video or this recording, just give a call to me. I'll give you the roadmap of how to apply for a TEDx speaker, and you will get it with your
For
work.
sure, for sure, for
Absolutely.
sure. Thank you so much. Like, okay, okay. So let me tell you, boss, you are doing amazing job, amazing job. The last Ripple is also doing amazing. So what are your further plans from this point of time?
Uh, First thing is to pass my law graduation because I honestly think uh, my law school did help a lot. What I am today is
Mhm.
only because of my university and my law school to give that foundation for me. So I have
Understood.
2 more semesters to complete, and I'll be a BBA LLB graduate. So apart
Uh-huh.
from that, as a personal goal for Last Triple, I want to make Last Triple Pan India organization, wherein we have uh, things happening on an India note where we have collaborations, opportunities, people knowing about Last Triple and the reach which we have. And right now we have international local volunteers supporting our initiative. So we want to make a strong community and a roadmap and delegation. So as of now, we don't have a delegated team of volunteers. We don't have a head for heading operations. It is just very few people in the main team heading the lower team, right? So I want to make a
Yes,
hierarchy, a set of people who would lead Last Triple as a beautiful organization. And the goal is to get more people and more powerful, you know, collaborations which can take Last Triple to greater heights and to make Last Triple beautiful in such a way that we can help more people to make their lives beautiful. Yeah.
yeah. So perfect. So, like, are you planning of getting into, human beings, making death beautiful for human beings?
So as of now, Pranjal, we don't advocate for human plantations. Matlab, we don't promote human plantation, but many people come and do plantations, right? So
Yes,
they have kept it very personal. Many families didn't want to reveal because their relatives didn't want this to happen. But many human families are volunteering for plantations. Out of 10 plantations in Bangalore as of now, two would be human plantations, right? So people are
yes.
changing, thoughts are changing, things are changing. So we are just happy for whatever is happening. And
Uh,
we really want to make advocacy for humans, but definitely after a graduate of law school, so I'll be a lawyer come entrepreneur,
yeah.
so I can talk about laws
Uh,
also. So yeah.
yes, 100%, 100%. Bro, I wish you all the best for it. So, bro, you are doing doing an amazing job, amazing job. So, ending this podcast with a very last question. That is that, there are very many budding who want to be budding entrepreneurs who want to own their startup, do their startup while they are studying. So, what is the piece of advice for them that you would like to give?
Mm, okay. Honestly speaking, Pranjal, I think I'm not that amazing at talking to another 20 or 19-year-old entrepreneur because I'm just 21, and everybody asks this question to me. Okay. Like, sir, आप advice कर दीजिए मुझे. Even I want to make something happen. Even I want to become a TEDx speaker. Even I want to make my organization global. I want to make money through my ventures. But then the only thing which people don't realize is start somewhere. Like, bhai,
Yeah,
if you want to start something and make that company 100 crore company tomorrow, you have to start somewhere. Why can't that
yes,
start be today? Is what I would ask them, right? And trust me, Pranjal, everybody would have an idea.
yeah,
Everybody
100.
would want to create a podcast. Everybody would want to make an Instagram content page. Everybody would want to make a company happen, but not everybody will
Yes,
start, right?
yeah.
So my first and foremost advice to all of you all who are watching this podcast with Pranjal and me right now is start. Because being in a law school stuck in constitutional laws and all the laws with these big textbooks, I made business happen. I made entrepreneurship happen. Right now I
Yeah.
mentor startups. Right now I hold equity in so many startups. I do investments in
Wow.
stocks and crypto. I do uh, training sessions to companies about their employee development. I make smaller companies in the environment green space. Lastripple acquires smaller organizations and funds smaller initiatives under Lastripple, right? So right now, in the span of 3 years, we have helped more than 200 to 300 entrepreneurs in multiple dimensions, be it contacts, connections, financial aid, and whatnot, right? So all this happened because I believe that I at 19 can start Lastripple, right?
Mhm.
So start today and don't expect anything in the coming future. Three
Yeah,
years is a stupid, rough journey, but then I'm growing. That is the only thing which I tell
yeah,
to myself every single day. And trust me, every single week I cry sometimes. I just go out of my mind because you are so alone that you don't know what to do, right?
yeah,
But trust me, the only thing I would advise is start and trust the process, because the process is going to be painful, but it's going to be worth it. And second thing is, after trusting the process and starting off, you just have to make powerful decisions, right? Because
yeah.
you're gonna start, you're gonna have that trust in the process, but you have to take powerful decisions, right? Because
Yes.
you starting something at your college and you having the joy of doing the process will not take you anywhere. You have to take powerful decisions, right? Because I had to get give up on my relationships. I have to reduce on my law school grades. I have to compromise on my personal happiness. I
Yeah.
have to compromise on so many things to make last triple happen, right? In fact, even right now, I had a dog death happen this morning. I
Mhm.
made my team go for the family because I had to come to this podcast, right?
Yeah,
So everything is a compromise and everything is there. So my only two advice to all of you is trust the process and start, because that is going to be a first step to success. Second thing is just take powerful decisions. You might have a
yeah,
toxic relationship, give up on it. You might have friends who don't believe in you, give up on them. You might have your mom and dad, tell you you'll not do any great, ignore them. So take powerful, conscious decisions, because life at 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 is not easy.
yeah,
Until you go to your late 20s, life will seem so difficult. Right
yeah.
now, 1,000 rupees might be less for me. Right
Mm.
now, 1 lakh would be less for me. But at 2019, 100 rupees was a lot for me,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
So things change, right? Things change, things take time. Right now I have, in 2019, I had to travel in BMTC local buses, carrying my laptop bags, soil bags, and then make people feel good about death. Right now, I we have a fully available 24/7 logistics team who will do the facilities for us. So things
Mm.
take time. It is just that you have to just stay calm and composed, because I never show attitude to people who approach me, because I was showed attitude when I approached people at 2019 or 2018, because I was just innocent and young and naive. And whenever I went for help, people took advantage of me. People took leverage of me. And that is why I always keep my kid me, the inner me, the real me, and not show that I am the founder of Last Triple. Because Last Triple is such a big organization that we make a turnover or a revenue in the more than revenues, we impact at least 100 people in a quarter. We make
Mhm.
100 deaths happen in a quarter. That's 100 families being thankful to Last Triple. So we do a lot, but then if a random teenager or if a random 17-year-old kid is approaching me, I'm still humble, and I would never seam zone or ignore them if they ask for a favor. Because when I ask favors, people help me. That is what made me what I'm today, right?
Yes,
So
100.
that is my humble advice to all of you all, because once you start your journeys, people would want to be a part of it. People would want to walk with you. People would want to be a part of it. It is your
Yes.
decision to treat them in a dignified manner, to say no or yes, or just ignore them. Don't hurt them, because I honestly believe that so many of us, so many people I know are way too adamant, way too arrogant in their attitude. Because fame comes, money comes, you would grow, but then that doesn't make a teenage entrepreneur wanting your support to be negatified or demotivated, right? So first thing is start early and trust the process. Second thing is take decisions which would give you that peace and satisfaction. third thing is be humble and grounded, because without being humble and grounded, you'll never grow. What I am today is only because of me being humble and grounded, because I'm very too stupid, way too dumb. But then the only thing that grew me what I am today is me being humble, me being respectful to everybody. You might have a YouTube page of 10 people, 10 subscribers. I will still come and do a podcast with you, because I trust that even that one subscriber who you have would be a potential volunteer for Last Triple. You might just start today. I might be a first guest to your podcast, but still I would do that podcast to you, because I know that this 1 hour commitment to you would at least bring some value to somebody else. So that is what I would honestly see, and that is what we have been believing in Last Triple. And that's all about it, people. If you follow these three advices, you would be the best version of yourself in your 20s. Trust me on this.
Yeah, yeah. And also I would like to add कि कई लोगों के पास idea भी होता है, but what they do is कि wait for the perfect time. So I would just like to
नहीं
say कि
आएगा,
perfect time कभी नहीं आता.
अपना टाइम
आप
नहीं
start कर
आएगा
दीजिए.
दोस्त.
हाँ,
अपना
something is better than nothing. You know,
अपना
कुछ ना
टाइम
कुछ तो हो
बनाना
ही
पड़ता
जाएगा.
है.
हाँ,
Pranjal, tell me
100%.
one thing. My question to you, my only question
Yes.
to you right now. So, what is your ultimate goal or your ultimate objective of your content?
Okay, so ultimate objective or goal to of my content is like, see, first thing I want to do podcast with the people like you know, who inspires the society.
Right.
Like you are a youth icon. Like आपको सब
अरे
सुनेंगे
यार.
youth. अरे मतलब सुनेंगे आपको क्योंकि आपने कुछ अचीव किया है. सो ये मुझे भी फायदा होगा और जो देख रहा है उनको भी कुछ इंस्पिरेशन मिलेगी. क्या पता इफ यू नो 100 लोगों ने देखी उसमें से एक भी अगर कुछ कर जाए ना देन दिस कहानी अनसुनी पॉडकास्ट वुड बी सक्सेसफुल.
Right.
Nothing more than this I want, you know. So yeah, just to bring value to people through this podcast is my only motive for this podcast. So
That's
yeah, that's
absolutely beautiful, Pranjal. More power and kudos to you, and let's do this.
yeah, sure, man. So, ending this with a beautiful note that, let me say, let me take a moment to tell you and show a gratitude towards you that, you are doing an amazing job and Kahani Ansuni is with you in Last Triple. So wherever I can help you, just, we have our numbers exchanged. So, you can just contact me and I would be there for you. And that's it.
Absolutely.
And all the social media handles of Pramodh is I have given the links in the description. So please follow this beautiful human being and help grow Last Triple and help grow nature. Because आज nature को आप जिंदा रखोगे तो वो आपको जिंदा रखेगा. ठीक है. So yeah,
Absolutely.
ending
I'll
this
take a
with a beautiful
screenshot and story this cheese. Say cheese, Pranjal. Three,
cheese.
2, and done. Perfect.
Beautiful, beautiful. And thank you so much, Pramod, to be on this podcast. I loved it.
Thanks
Like,
a lot
it
for me.
was lovely
Yeah.
talking to you. Thank you. Thank you so
Awesome.
much. This is
Take
Pranjal
care.
Parmar from Kahani Ansuni and Pramodh Shekhar from Last Triple signing off.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.